Hi guys, welcome back to our E3 coverage. We are now talking FIFA 15 with EA Sports' Nick Shanahan. How are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you again.
And you?
So, FIFA 15 then. It's the second time on next-gen consoles for FIFA.
Yep.
So, how are you pushing it forward again this year?
A lot of big changes this year. I mean, the first thing is visuals. We've done a lot of work over the last couple of years on our technology and our rendering system, and we're actually bringing this in this year. So, it's a huge change. It's having a dramatic effect on the visual quality of the game. We're using a physically based rendering system, so it's really lighting the world in a much more natural way. And again, it's taken our visual quality to a level we've just not been able to do in the past. We've completely reworked our player model, making more athletic looking, more lean, much more natural as a footballer. At times our players look a bit big. We're doing a lot of work around emotion this year, so we're now tracking the emotion of all 22 players on the pitch, getting that real natural emotion reaction. It's such an emotive sport, football is. The passion of the fans, also the passion on the. We didn't feel like we always had that in our game, so we want players to react. We want a big goal in the last couple of minutes to feel different than a goal in the beginning. So we're tracking all of these stages. Player constantly being fouled is going to react differently as that goes on, and we didn't have that element. So we really wanted to bring that in. We're tracking the footsteps on the pitch again, help visuals, lots of little things around the corner flags, and all of the main elements of our game are now in physics, and then a lot of work in gameplay as well. Listening to fan feedback around people give us feedback the game didn't feel quite as responsive last year. So we worked a lot more on our step-based locomotion system, more tighter turns, more animation coverage, but also looking at responsiveness across the game. So we've done a lot of work in the ground with the ball physics. So we're looking at how you actually touch and dribble the ball. It looks more realistic, the synergy between ball and foot looks great, but it's actually having a profound effect on the fluidity and feeling of passing as well. And then finally we're doing what we call possession tackles, which is allowing you to go in and win the ball, and the ball staying a little closer, more natural, more realistic, whereas we could get quite loose and quite often go back to the opposition, which was frustrating, again, bringing this feeling of unresponsiveness. So looking across the game, to really help drive the responsiveness and the fluidity, really that feel the game tagline that we're talking about. And then finally a lot of work around our AI as well. We've actually now got more AI working as if we were playing each other. So, if I'm up 1-0 in the last sort of 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the game, I'm going to be a little bit more defensive. I don't want you to score. The AI will now do that to you. It'll go and park the bus kind of thing. If I'm down 1-0 and I need a goal, I'm going to be a little bit more direct. And again, the AI is going to act more in a more human way. They now have objectives. They now understand the context of the game itself.
You mentioned your tagline there, and you had it in the conference, feel the game. Like you want to, I guess, because you've got this kind of template, the football game that you've got there is a really, really solid simulation of football already. And I guess the next-gen consoles are allowing you, as you said just then, to really kind of get into that feeling of drama and emotion that's in the game, because it's just an incredibly dramatic and emotional game at times. How challenging has that been to kind of replicate? Because I know, like, if a goal goes in, like you said, in the last 2 minutes, you'd expect the crowd to roar even harder, the players to celebrate even more. Is that the kind of thing you're trying to get in?
Absolutely. I mean, you've absolutely nailed it. You wanting to feel the emotion of that moment, but also the high and the low, right? So it's that moment of conceding that late goal, looking at your players, looking at your teammates. It's what you do when we watch football on TV. It's how we feel. We want you to feel like that when you're playing the game. That last minute goal being conceded, you're going to feel, and they didn't always come through with the players on the pitch. The players get similar reactions, and they didn't have the context. They didn't have the knowledge. They didn't know how the opposition was feeling, how they, so we needed to create that kind of a system, that very complex system, to really have both the highs and the lows in the game. Players now have memory. If the same player keeps coming in and tackling a player, they now know that, and they're going to act differently. So that it feels much, much more natural. And like I said, I think football's the most emotive sport there is. But it's not just feeling the game in terms of the emotion; it's also feeling the responsiveness and the fluidity as well.
And also the new ball physics. Also the new ball physics were mentioned quite a bit as well. Kind of the game, the physics of the game has always seemed, really, really good. How do you try and find out what part of the game you need to actually improve on, and what have you improved in terms of ball physics, and where is it going now?
So I think if you look at it in two ways. So last year we did a lot of work around ball physics around shooting, and that was primarily when the ball was in the air and how it moved through the air, and the real mechanics around that. This year it's more aligned to the ball on the ground. How does the foot and the ball and how the ball moves change? And we've done a lot of work on that, and it was just ultimately how you come up with these things is a prototype that one of our engineers came up with, and it's like, whoa, that has a dramatic effect on the look of the ball and how it's synergy with the foot. And then we realized, wow, this is also having a huge effect on passing. You know, and if you think about it, as the ball's coming into me here, and I just want to put it there, previously with we weren't maintaining the momentum and the spin of the ball. If it's coming in spinning this way, I just flick it, it's really easy, right? But we were zeroing the spin of the ball, and it wouldn't come out as naturally, it wouldn't feel as fluid. And so it's had a profound effect in that area, and you know, there's always some things that we come out, whoa, that really has changed a lot of things. So that in particular. For example, as well, even on headers, and there's a little bit more error because of the spin, so it's helping some of the feedback we got last year around the, you know, overpowered headers. So all of these systems, we're doing other work to balance that out as well, but even the ball physics in that sense and the spin of the ball is helping that area too.
And just to wrap up then, I guess that whole kind of thing you just explained there gives you the opportunity to do kind of more unpredictable things, score more unpredictable goals, and have goals that aren't always just kind of, because quite often in football games you kind of get to a point where you've learned the game so well you can get to a point and you know you're always going to score like that.
Totally, and if you look at the AI is now going to do things differently. So, you know, it's going to, as I say, work in a more human-like way, and it means the games aren't as repetitive. It means the games are more varied. You've got that emotional feeling. You know, even a game in a meaningless end-of-season game in career mode is going to feel very different than a championship decider. And we really wanted that, and that didn't come through in our game before. So, you know, but again, the game's going to feel different because the AI is doing different things for you. It's also like if we're playing each other, that more emergent behavior from physics, like you say. You know, one of the things that it does actually is if I have a deflection previously, because we were zeroing the spin of the ball would go straight down. Yeah. Whereas now the deflections look more natural, you might get more deflected goals. So, you know, it's like you say, it's more unpredictable, it's certainly not random. When you're having a physics-driven systems and we're trying to get more and more of our systems into that, it creates these more natural emergent behaviors.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time once again, Nick.
Right.
FIFA 15, everyone, it's looking absolutely amazing. If you want to see more games, more videos from E3, make sure you check out the channel. We've got absolutely loads going up this week. Don't forget to subscribe.